Oh, hi there. I'm reviewing a keyboard today. It's a Hexgears. It's a Hexgears low-profile mechanical keyboard. It's right in front of me here. I've decided I'm going to use it and play some Far Cry 6 because why not? I actually normally play these games on joypad because I play it on console. But a lot of the times that's because I don't have a good keyboard, to be honest, for gaming. I don't necessarily like to play games on a full-sized mechanical keyboard. It's not what I like. This is the type of style that I like to play games on, this low-profile style, specifically designed for gaming. So let's jump into the review here, and we'll see how good this thing is here. It's definitely helping me be a sneaky girl here. All right. But yeah, let's jump into the review here before I get sucked into this game and see if this Hexgears keyboard is worth your money. Which is a nice little metal thing. I kind of like that actually. And then the keycap holder. It's kind of nice. That's that there. Very nice. So I'm going to set this over here for now. Ooh, it's a nice little thin, it's like a PCB style where you have this nice little back plate and then you have the keys mounted on top with the press down. Very nice. Okay, very actually surprisingly light, but it is metal. So that's a metal back plate there. It has plastic on the bottom to keep the weight down, so it's not super heavy. Rubber feet there. You get 3 stages, so flat is 1, 2, 3 with a rubber grip there. Very nice. On the back there, we do get our 2.4 gigahertz connection, USB-C on-off switch. Very nice. Yeah, I like the way this looks. These buttons are cool. They're shaped like circles, and they have clicky butts to them. And you can see the style here. This is, I don't know what these were called necessarily, but where they actually mount them on top of the kind of chassis there. So you have the backplate / chassis there, which is a metal. Then you have these mounted on top, and these are low profile switches. You can see there the style of the switch. It's a black switch. These are a low profile KL switch. You can see that there. So you can pop these out if need be. Swap them out. If you get bored of them, get a different one. The nice thing about that as well is if you ever, damage, if you spill something in your keyboard or something, you can always just replace a single switch. You don't have to replace the whole keyboard. So you get your low profile. Okay, look at that tiny little thing. It's so cute. And you get your LED underneath there, and it's a 2 pin style. So that's very nice. Easy to swap. So in terms of features on the keyboard, you can see up here you do have 3 switchable modes. So we actually have 2.4 gigahertz, which I'm using right now, wired. 3 different Bluetooth modes. You just click them at a switch of a button there. These are actually to control the screen over here, and you can see there's a built-in little LED screen. Isn't that super cool? So you can go like that there and turn it on. Have a look at that. Hexgears. This is customizable, by the way. You can put different GIFs in there. So you can actually just come through. So you can see right now we have some stuff there. So you can see there we have Windows, we have the different modes. So if I click, for example, here, I'm going to switch to these modes. You'll see it on the little screen here. So wired, and then 2.4 gigahertz, Bluetooth 1, press it again, Bluetooth 2, Bluetooth 3, so it's a dynamic screen, which is definitely cool. I like that quite a bit. Then you have things like num lock, right? So you have key lock, sorry. So if you don't want to be able to press keys, you can go function like that. It'll lock out the keys. There's all these different features here. Num lock, caps lock there, right? Num lock and all that as well. So that's cool. This thing is actually controllable from here. So you can actually go through this menu here, and there's different effects. So you can go effects, color. We'll do this when we get to the RGB section. Brightness, speed, right? Language, the little GIFs you can put in. You can customize these. Look at that. Look at those keys getting gains. Go like that there, and then we can scroll through. That'll go back, right? But you can also come through them like this, and then you can say, I don't know, color, and then scroll through. We'll get to this in a moment, but right, you can go through them like that. But if you are that type, you can still do. You can do like function and color, and so all the switches are possible to do here. So let's say we don't want that. Turn off RGB, turn it on, change the color, turn it off. Different modes in that, volume up, volume down. So you can do all these things from here as well, if that's something that you prefer. As you can see, it is wireless. You can wire it up. It's obviously the battery's plugged in. So if you want to just plug it in and go for plugged in mode, you're going to have infinite battery, obviously, because it's plugged in. But it has to have a built-in battery. So they say that it's 50 hours of battery life when you're plugged, when you're idle like this. So if you're actually playing games, 50 hours is a long time. You can always just plug it in after a while, but that's more than 2 days of straight gaming. So that's quite a bit there. Very good. I guess if you crank up the RGB, it's going to use more. If you turn the RGB right off, you'll get more battery life. So it's your pick, but 50 hours is a lot. And then it does have programmable macros, apparently. We'll have to get into that and see if you can program some of the macros there, which is good for gamers. So the mic is a little, not too far away from it, just so you can get a bit of audio of feedback here. So let's do a little bit of a typing test here. Some people would lean towards a traditional style, just generic keyboard, like that style, higher keycap, just a traditional layout. I think those are actually a little more geared towards typists, to be honest, because that's what they came from, people who are just typing. Gaming, I actually prefer something like this, like a low profile keyboard with the PCB here with the backplate there and the keys mounted on low profile. It's really nice. Why, you may ask? Because it mirrors kind of like a laptop. It has all the benefits of a laptop, but it also has the benefits of a real mechanical, desktop keyboard. So I find that, the keys here are not going to be too cavernous between them. So the actual distance between the keys is not massive that way there. And then they're actually not gigantically, there's not a huge drop off between them as well. So I just find it nice, right? If you're going from, let's say, a laptop, which I do all the time, or a MacBook or something like that, and then you move into something like this here, you're going to feel very comfortable going with that because you're not moving from, a MacBook laptop style keyboard and then into this giant behemoth, typist style keyboard that can sometimes be overwhelming. And it's actually a shock. It's really, really, really nice for typing. It just feels nice. The actual, snappiness of the keys is, obviously it's a nice mechanical KL switch there. Feels really, really nice there. Nice and smooth. The sound of them, I don't know, it's just, they still have a ton of travel. They just feel nice and snappy and precise. It feels like a keyboard that's not only designed for typists, but is still incredibly good for typists, right? I actually find that my accuracy when typing is actually the best on this style of keyboard. You have to commit to the key, but it's not super resistive. It's kind of, again, it's made for gaming, not just typing. So you want to just not be accidentally hitting things like that. But that means it translates very well for typing, right? Because you're also just not going to accidentally type letters that you don't want. So very, very nice, actually. Very nice for typing. I'm a pretty big fan of that right off the bat. So I like that quite a bit. Let's do a little bit of RGB, and then what we're going to do is we're going to check out the software that they have in here. So let's download the software, and then we'll move into some RGB. So as you can see here, they have their own software. It's the Hexgears A3 software. You can see there's 3 configurations here. So config 1, config 2, config 3. So you can save those. We can come in here and you can set different functions here. You can pick the keys. Very good. Top layers, change things up. So I guess you can swap them if need be. So E can become R. Let's not do that. Let's leave them as they're supposed to be. So that's cool. You can change them. Very, very cool. So if you find that, you don't want them to be what they are, you can easily change them. Very good. You can, set up numpads. You could turn this into a numpad, I guess, if you wanted. That's kind of cool. Actually, it's very cool, to be honest. And then there's function layers as well. So what happens if you hit the function button, then press these buttons, you can change them. So if you want function and these to be something else, you can change them. Very good. What else can we do here? Oh, we have the 3 options, obviously. So that's that there. What's in the home screen? Oh, you have different keywords. So if you have more than one, you can do that. In here, we have macros. So you can set up macros if need be. If you want to set up some specific macro, you can do it here. Set up interval times. So let's say, I want my left mouse button to do something. You can come in here and you can set up a macro. So I can go new, and I can say, I don't know. I can say, okay, like that there. And then if I hit insert. What is a button that I never use? Insert. We never use insert. And then you can ask what you want to do. So we'll go recording and we'll go, what do I want it to do? So I want it to go like da, da, enter or something like that. So now I've done a Hadouken, right? So I've went dun, dun, dun. So if I was playing Street Fighter, I could set that up as a macro and say I want it to do down, forward, punch. And it would set that up. So that's super cool. Macros are going to be useful for gamers. Here's the RGB stuff. So actually, you know what? Let's kill off some lights here and let's actually show off the RGB while we do this. Alrighty, so we're in RGB setup mode here. So this thing has RGB, as you can see, but you can also tweak it. Let's move this back so you can see both. And then once we'll get the RGB coming in, we can play with it. Before we customize it here, let's just actually see what RGB modes it has here. So we can use the interface. Let's zoom in. Get a little bit of interface going on here. Okay, so let's come in here and we'll go through the menus. We'll just see what we can do here. So there's effect. You can use it like this, effect 1. 3 is, I guess, like one of those ones where you do that and it types out. Radiate out kind of thing. That one is just going through. randomizer, kind of a wavy thing going through, pulsing, static. So 10 is static. I usually go static, so I'll have to remember that. This is the one where it delays. Static but rainbow. Different rainbow kind of thing with a little block. So there's just a lot. I'll go through them quickly here. Very good. So let's put it back to 1 for now, just so we can test more stuff. Very good. Color. So you can change the colors: red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple, and white. Very nice. RGB. We'll leave it RGB just for now. Brightness. You can go down if you find it's too bright at night. I usually leave stuff around half, but we'll turn it up full brightness just for now, because and that flashes when it's maxed out. See that? Very good. Okay. Speed. Obviously, it's doing a pattern thing, so we can turn that up. Turn it down to nice to very slow. And then, of course, you can do them from here too, right? So if I wanted to switch these up here, I could go color. I don't have to use that little menu like I said before. Right? Off, on. These are the effects. Lighting direction. Oh, cool. So we can go right now. It's kind of doing, if you do the pulsing one, it's going from left to right. You can make it go from right to left. I can just like it as default. Lighting speed, lighting brightness. So you can turn them down and up in here. You can turn this down and up in here, which is very nice actually, right? So do it from the interface instead. Palette, you can come in here and change them. So being able to customize per key. Some keyboards actually don't have per key, which is interesting. They'll have like zonal RGB, especially on laptops, which is kind of strange. This one here has per key, so you can basically just set them up as needed one by one. LED off, shuttle. Oh, these are the names of the ones that you could do. Falling, colorful, breathe. Very cool. Let's go static though, I think. Colorful. We can change all the colors in here. So if you don't like the specific color that it came with, like maybe the red was too much, you're not gonna be able to see what I'm doing. Maybe if I zoom out, you'll be able to see it. And not really. Let's just zoom into the keyboard. So I'm coming through here. I'm gonna change these here like in a much more granular, right? Like I can actually change them granularly because it has 16.8 million colors. So, you know, this is like a beautiful pink, for example, a nice soft palette. You know, maybe the one that comes with pre-programmed is like an aggressive red, and that's not your thing. You're like, it's too much red for me. So you can go in there, you can go the softer kind of that color, or you can go the purple, right? Or a more intense purple, right? That's going to be one of the advantages of this, the fact that you can really customize it as you want on a granular level. Granular meaning you can go rather than just like the ones that come with it, right? Like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, cyan, purple, and white. You can make them much more granular. So I like that level of pink, not that level of pink. Like that there. What color do I want WASD to be? Red? So now WASD is red. I think that's kind of muted. If you're playing games at night, you might want something a little more aggressive. Right, so now it's like a green type thing. Set it up as WASD. Right, pick the color that you want. Right, I'm going to go with red because it's kind of my thing. And then that way, you know, the only thing you're going to see on the keyboard is WASD. So if you're gaming at night, you may do that. But you may say, like, I need those. And I'm also going to need, like, maybe my numeric rows as well because I'm playing Diablo or something like that. I don't know, whatever you play macros with. So I'm going to have these set up as, I don't know, green, like that now. It stands out better. Right, so I have WASD and numeric keys showing up. So my brain doesn't have to look for the keys, right? I don't have to hunt for the keys while I'm playing the game. As soon as I put my hand down, I'm on my directional controls here, and then I have all my, you know, hotkeys up there for, hotkey-based abilities. Oh, it's going to actually go with music. That's cool. It'll have it'll go off with the audio that you have on. That's very cool. Okay, so I have some music playing in the background, just some YouTube music, and now you can see that it's going to do stuff with the music. So just a little lighting effect, right? Like you just basically set this up while there's music playing. I'm not going to play the music because it's not royalty free. So we'll just basically, have that there, and we can do a little amplitude thing, playing a little music, actually showing you what it's doing there. It looks crazy on there, but in person you can really see it. Going with the music on your computer there. So you do have all the ability. The only thing you're missing out is a numpad, but I don't think somebody who would buy this who wants a numpad. I use a numpad separately often, a lot of the time. So there you go. That's the Hexgears Immersion 3A mechanical gaming keyboard. It's really nice, actually. I think a lot of people are going to be a big fan of this. Gaming, I actually would gravitate often towards this style of keyboard more than a traditional style of keyboard. I'm used to gaming on laptops. I'm used to gaming on things like this. And I just find it's nicer. I often sometimes will hook up even to my computer like a scissor switch keyboard. I don't want to bring one in because it's not about that, but I'll bring them in sometimes because I find that my large keyboard back there, I don't know, I just don't like it as much for gaming. It's great for typing, but I just don't like it as much for gaming. And I find that this style of keyboard I gravitate towards for gaming. I don't know what it is about it. It just is really nice to game on. So I think for people who are looking for a gaming keyboard, this thing is actually very nice. Very, very, very nice. But I think even for typists, especially, it's going to be a really nice thing. It's so slim, you can just take it with you, toss it in a bag. You're not going to have any issues taking this thing around with you if you're going from place to place. It's a really, really nice keyboard. So that's the Hexgears here. It's really nice, actually. So check out their stuff. I hadn't tried their stuff before, but they seem to be making really nice products. And for a limited time, there is a coupon code that the company supplied me. It's GuyBoHex. You'll find it down in the video description down below. That gives you 15% off on the keyboard. And for a limited period of time, they're actually offering $35 discount on top of that. So that basically gets you the keyboard for around $100 or so. Put a link to the video in the video description to their website. I don't have any affiliation with them, so it's not an affiliate link. I'll just put it down there. If I can find this product on Amazon, Canada, or the US, I will put down Amazon links down there, which would be affiliated through Amazon. Using those would help me out, but you don't have to. No affiliation with this company itself. If you don't like that kind of thing, don't worry about it.